first time, it also addresses inequality for Hispanics, the nation's fastest growing demographic group. It shows African Americans are making gains in overall equality, but still twice as likely as whites to be unemployed. And more blacks and Hispanics lack health insurance compared to white Americans. I'm joined now by Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who chairs the Congressional Black Caucus. Was any of what you saw in this report, Congresswoman, a surprise to you?
No, it wasn't. Members of the Congressional Black Caucus and other members of Congress live this each and every day. And that's why we have been working with the President and our Speaker and Leader Reid to try to develop a comprehensive job strategy that includes targeting resources, job creation resources, training, workforce training into areas of high unemployment where the chronically unemployed live. That's a big piece of what the Congressional Black Caucus has been doing for many years. Now, thank goodness, we have a President Obama who understands it, and we're moving forward to try to develop specific strategies. It's tough, though. Let me just tell you, we've been working basically, first of all, to try to develop a summer youth jobs initiative, a jobs program for our young people, which is one of the Urban League's recommendations. Well, we have many young people now who have to pay the rent and buy the food because their parents are unemployed. Today, we're working on a $600 million package, which will create from 300 to 500,000 jobs. But we need 3 times more in terms of summer youth jobs programs. And so when you look at what we have to do, we have to develop the political will to invest in people, to invest in direct job creation. We've invested over $50 billion in helping Iraq reconstruct. The Urban League is proposing $168 billion. Why can't we at least put $100 billion in a massive jobs creation effort? That's going to help us reduce the deficit, and it's going to help create jobs.
And it's interesting because Reverend Jesse Jackson was pointing out to me earlier this week that the big cities across this nation are getting squeezed so badly for transit money. The MTA in New York is cutting, just slashing bus routes, laying off its transit workers. And the Reverend pointed out, look, those are green jobs, and those are green jobs that African Americans use to reach middle class. And when they get slashed, you're cutting green jobs and you're cutting jobs for urban workers. It's a real problem. That being said, go ahead.
It's also the lifeblood of many of our communities. Senior citizens need buses to be able to go to their doctor's appointments, to go to the grocery stores. In my district, AC, for example, we have a phenomenal bus system that helps our senior citizens get to the county hospitals. When that is cut, you really are dealing with the lifeline in our communities.
But does it need to be a black agenda?
It's not a black agenda. We're talking about an agenda that's going to make America stronger. We're talking about developing formula and resources directed to areas of the chronically unemployed. Wherever there are chronically unemployed, we need to focus our efforts. And so I don't accept the fact that there are those saying this is a black agenda. This is an agenda that's an American agenda. It's an agenda that's going to make our country stronger. We are Americans. People of color are Americans. They deserve equal treatment in any laws and any funding that we present.
Listen, Congresswoman, before I let you go, can I just ask you your reaction to some of the contretemps that happened between black congressmen, your colleagues, and the Tea Party protesters? What's your reaction?
Well, it's a shame and a disgrace. And I tell you one thing, it just demonstrates what the Congressional Black Caucus has been saying all along, and that is we cannot sweep the issues of race and racism under the rug. We have to surface these issues. We have to have a healthy dialogue on race, and only then can we move toward reconciliation. And I think what happened this weekend was just an abomination. It was an example of what the unfinished business is of America that we must, as a country, move forward to complete.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee.